Okay, let's see this. What is this? The God of War backlash is getting worse?
They're destroying the things we love again.
Oh no. Why can't they just make their own thing?
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. Now, I'm sure like many of you, I have also seen all of the drama surrounding the upcoming God of War game. God of Wife, Mum of
God of Laundry.
War? Broad of War? We'll work on it. Jokes aside, the actual game is called God of War Lao.
God of Cube.
Fey? Lo Fey?
I'm not sure how to say it still.
How the God of War people want this pronounced, but that's not how they say
Cube
it in
of War.
Iceland. I looked it up, so yeah, just pretend I can speak another language for a moment. At least the memes have been hilarious.
This shit is crazy. I don't like glazing AI because there's so much AI dog shit out there, but this is low-key really funny. I'm sorry. I can't believe that someone made this shit. It's actually kind of funny.
But
that's crazy.
That is crazy. The more that I want to comment on this game generally, because I'm actually a massive fan of the God of War franchise.
She's actually talked about it a decent amount. She played the shit out of these games. She's kind of a normie gamer. She likes Horizon Zero Dawn, and she's played God of War, and I think, what other one game that she talked about? Some other, like, fucking console game, I can't remember.
Just in general. And it is regrettably another franchise in a quite long list of franchises that has been gutted by modern gaming studios. I ask for more Daddy Kratos, and I'm given this. I don't know, someone send help. If you've been following along, then you know that in early June 2026, I
just knew something was off when I saw that fucking Disney-ass little pet at the start, man. I was like, who asked for this shit? That was like my first live reaction. I was like, okay, like there's a chick, I get it, but like, all right, question mark. And then the little Disney buddy, I was like, okay, man.
What are we doing? The next installment of God of War will not feature Kratos, the protagonist who has carried the franchise
and the mommy Egyptian god,
but instead his dead wife. No, not that one.
No, that's the other one. His first dead wife is on his skin.
Other one, the Norse one, Faye, who we learned about in the 2018 game, when Kratos and Boy go to spread her ashes in Jotunheim, and again in Ragnarok, where we actually see what she looks like, and there are constant references to her beating up Thor, or whoever else. I am apparently the only person who viscerally hated God of War Ragnarok, and I believe—
No, a lot of people really didn't like it, apparently. They liked the 2018, the first one, the first remake.
That's where all of this stupidity
not remake,
started,
like relaunch,
and,
I guess.
I'm considering making a 2-hour-long autistic video about why that game sucked, but thankfully for all of you, that is not this video. So count your blessings. In this new game, instead of telling Faye's actual backstory, which is referred to in both Norse games, this storyline follows Faye into the afterlife, where we will encounter gods.
The mommy Egyptian goddess, bro.
Other pantheons, which honestly is a pretty decent idea, but I want
to
do
her
that
honkers.
as Daddy Kratos.
I don't like it.
As many of you have likely seen, this news sent the internet.
Yeah, this scene just fucking, I was kind of just like living life, trying to dissociate. Again, I can't really get behind like games where you basically just get cue prompts and then like there's exposition.
Into a meltdown of sorts, because as many players have pointed out, when they play God of War, they want to play as Kratos, not his wife.
That's fair.
And
that's a fair criticism.
Opinion, not even as his son, Ragnarok.
The chest. Not
you
so easy,
dumbass!
Huh?
Why we spent hours upon hours riding around in Jotunheim as Atreus with a race-swapped and—
I hate this. I hated this in Monster Hunter Wilds too, where it's like you're riding around on whatever the fuck, and then they're like talking, and I'm like, dude, can't you just do this while I'm playing the game?
Boda on a yak, I will never know. Those who
I
have
hated
worked
this
on
shit.
this new game
In
have
any
said
game,
that its
any
events
game,
run
not just this
parallel
one.
to the timeline of God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. So this picks right up after Faye's death. While Kratos and Atreus are off delivering her ashes, she's battling monsters in this other world and playing with a weird cube. I don't know. It's probably worth mentioning too that not only are people upset about a game without Kratos, but they don't really understand why God of War
Like, they changed her eye shape, too. Did you notice that?
life looks sort of haggard and tired.
Interesting.
This is not inspiring. It makes me hope she gets some sleep. Predictably, people are saying that
I did it with
Faye
Crimson
looks
Desert too.
realistic
I
and this
fucking
is
hate
great.
that. I
But
hate
I'm
moving
not
like
sure
that.
who asked for that outside of the 400 activists who worked on this game.
In her defense, she's dead. Yeah, she's a goddess.
Of course, now we have the comparison saying that Faye has been deliberately uglified, but that is a topic for a whole other video that I actually have coming up, so stay tuned for that. Now, lots of people basically immediately chalked this backlash up to the rest of us hating women, not wanting to play as female characters, and just generally being whiny misogynists, I guess. But as per usual, I think that explanation is actually really quite lazy, as it has been every other time it's been levied against gamers. And I can say this at least from my vantage point, but I'm sure a lot of you guys relate to this. None of this is about...
She's a frost giant, so she's a mythological creature. Effectively a titan. My point still stands, though. Like, why? What's the point?
Women. In fact, I like female characters. If I can play as one, I typically opt for them. And there are also countless games with terrific female lead characters that gamers generally have really, really liked and continue to buy and continue to play because those games are very good. And let's...
Tomb Raider, Metroid. Like, I don't know, man. It's dumb to me, like, people make the counter argument and say, like, oh, well, incels just hate playing games that have women in them. Yeah, Stellar Blade, Bayonetta. Oh, but those are sexy characters, guys. No, you guys are just misogynists.
Be real, female characters and women protagonists and women in general bring a lot of value to a lot of different situations. Like, I think we're really good at gift giving and doing nice things for the men in our lives, which is coincidental because Father's Day is coming up, and if you, regardless if you're a woman or not, are struggling to think of a good gift for dad or for the man in your life, why not consider
I'm getting my dad a cheese board.
Like Exter Wallets, the sponsor of
cheese
today's
board.
video.
Hell yeah.
Listen, men, I love you. You're good at lifting things and opening jars, putting spiders outside, but carrying around wallets that look like this is a sin. I know you all think that you
No,
need
a
to carry
cheese
the weight
board.
of the world around in your pocket, but you don't. And in
It's
fact,
tasty.
there is a better option, and it's one that's here just in time for Father's Day. Exter Wallets. Just look at this guy. He's sleek, he's slim, he holds up to 14 cards, and he even has this neat little access mechanism.
That's
Give
crazy.
this boy a press and boom, cards galore. They also protect against RFID theft. I also know that you've all ripped apart the house at one time or another looking for your wallet, so Extra thought of a solution for that as well. This little card is the slimmest Find My device that you can pop in your wallet, your bag, or any other gear that you want. It also works with Apple's Find My feature, so you never have to worry about losing the most important things ever again. I think
That's kinda
we've all
neat.
been in the I wish I could call my wallet situation, and now you kind of can. And don't worry if you're a dirty Android user like me, Extra also has a card with the same finding feature for us as well. Thank you. Extra has also expanded their line to include this awesome travel pack vacuum kit,
That's
which makes
neat.
it so much easier to pack for trips. You just pop
I
your
will
items
say
in,
that is
compress
very
the
nice.
bag, and you're good to go. Men also love compressing items. It is one of their favorite things, or so I am told. It is also worth
Being
noting
efficient
that
is a
Extra
boy
are so
thing.
confident in their product, they offer a 100-day money-back guarantee.
Yeah.
So if you are ready to level up your wallet game, your man's wallet game, or get your dad that an awesome gift for Father's Day? Then click the link in the description, scan the QR code on screen, and use code Sydney for an additional 20% off at checkout that goes on top of Exeter's existing ongoing promotions. So to be clear, Exeter today is offering you an additional 20% off on top of their ongoing sales when you use my code Sydney at checkout. When a game is built around a compelling female lead who makes sense, is dynamic, has a good personality, good skills, and she's supposed to be there, gamers embrace it.
Someone pointed out that that new witch game with the witch trials and shit, what is it called? 1666? And it's about, like, you know, paranormal, witch hunting, whatever the fuck, right? People didn't really, like, I didn't see a lot of people being like, ew, gross, yuck. Like, I didn't even see it. Even Asma's chat, even though it's like half a meme of people spamming like, haha, woman equals woke, I didn't see people being like fucking super critical of it. They were like, yeah, sure. Yeah, it didn't look that bad. Again, they just like to nitpick and be like, it's because you hate this.
Time again. The problem
I said that, yep,
women.
You sure did.
The problem is this pattern where Western studios take an established franchise that worked because of its tone, storyline, gameplay, and so on, and then throw all of that into the sea to chase widespread appeal and whatever consultancy checklist is trending in California offices that week. It's that God of War went from being a hyper-violent series of games with a protagonist hell-bent on revenge who would spend his time
well, that's because they took the rights for the story and basically made it their own. Like, it's a completely different story from the original games. They went down a completely different path, and a lot of people criticized it, which is within their right because it is very far from the originals, but they made it their own thing.
Remembering and disemboweling gods to a crappy feminist fairy tale where the lead character looks exhausted and has a gel cube buddy and Marvel level quips. Actually, this little part gets worse because apparently these little ribbons on the sword in the cube also talk, so that is tremendous.
You guys know my opinion on this. This wholesome chungus bullshit. I hate this, man. I would hate this even if it was a male protagonist. I'll fucking say it. And I know that's like obvious to anybody that fucking like watches my streams. I hate this wholesome chungus bullshit.
No, I can trust
the cube, the sword.
If only to suffer. I mean, guys, let's be real. When Domino's is even chiming in to dunk on you, saying that a God of War game with no Kratos is like pepperoni passion with no pepperoni, you know you kind of screwed up. This event has left containment. In reality, nobody has asked for the plethora of other games that have been released recently or in recent years that have gender-swapped main characters or notable characters, or I guess prioritized looks to the exclusion of, though I don't know, actual decent gameplay and storytelling. And I really think that this new iteration of God of War generally kind of demonstrates this wider Western malaise, if you will, that is taking over the gaming industry. These games have exceptionally high budgets, and as a result, they are subject to the pressure
exceptionally high budgets because they want to spend that money that, you know, governments give them. Do you know how much government spending goes into certain games like this from AAA? It's actually quite a lot.
Of appealing to everyone.
On top of, like, the motion capture for the fucking cube that's literally not necessary. You could hire animators for cheaper, for a decent, like, wage, rather than wasting everybody's time. Because, for example, for the animators, you don't need an actor. You don't need motion capture. You just have someone animate the fucking cube.
For maximum money making, which inevitably dilutes them and destroys their lore.
Yeah, mocap for the cube. Yeah, I'm serious.
Not to mention all of the leftism, either overt or subversive, the self-inserts, the terrible characters, the bad storylines, dialogue.
Is this Forspoken?
And deeply unfortunately, God of War is just one title in a long list of titles. Even God of War's original developer, David Jaffe, Jeff, I've actually never said this out loud. Please don't bully me in the comments. He said that this new game looks uninspired and dull, claiming the franchise is dead because their formula has run out of momentum. He said that the game has lost the violence that drew players.
And this guy is astoundingly like anti. He fucking fought incels on Twitter. He's a grumpy old man, but even he was like, man, this is not what my game used to be like.
Character of Kratos.
He fought very dark. Yeah, he was fucking blowing up on Twitter and shit.
Roots, which is what the game has always been tied to.
Here's my point. If you got rid of God of War, like look at what the internet was asking for. A lot of people were saying, oh, well, maybe she gets to go into other pantheons. Okay, so do we get to see Chinese mythology, Egyptian, whatever, right? This just feels like Corey or somebody wanted to write a fantasy story, but you've lost the gore and the violence that made the first game. You've lost the character. You already lost him after 2018 because he changed.
Which is a fair criticism.
So much he wasn't Kratos anymore.
Yeah, they shifted into a more like touchy-feely, oh, I regret what I did kind of story to develop the character more. Some people disagree with that, but a lot of people liked it, and I think it broadened the audience. And I'm of the opinion that it's actually not a great thing to do. Yeah.
Now you've lost the identifiable mythology.
It's just my opinion.
You've lost me with the cube. It's in the little Disney character at the beginning.
Thank you. Even I can agree.
It just seems, this seems like just a fantasy. Like if they would have taken God of War off the title and you didn't know the God of War story and there wasn't Kratos, it was just a story about this goddess who dies, you would not be talking about this game.
He pointed to Ragnarok as the visible start of the decline of God of War, and I have to agree. I hate this game with a passion. Like I said, God of War is one of my favorite series, and it absolutely peaked in 2018. I think the only saving grace is that
That is astounding to me. I don't know, man. I'm just one of those people that like took one look at God of War and I thought like, this just screams like just a cinema game to me. And then people have the audacity to criticize Witcher 3 for having bad combat, but then they absolutely glaze the ever-living fuck out of God of War 2018. And if you actually just watch the gameplay, it's the same shit. You just... it's not really that fucking crazy, man. It's just cinematic. I don't like combat like that.
Kratos to crush my head with his biceps. I am sorry. We have established on this channel that I have a thing for these older bearded men.
Witcher 3 bored me so much I tried like 3 times to play it. My thing is that I will glaze Witcher 3 purely because it has an amazing story. It has a lot of depth to it. And going around and doing quests and stuff is really, really fun. Yeah, I don't know. I think that Witcher 3 has more depth than and also you can explore in Witcher 3. You can do a bunch of other shit. You can't really explore in God of War. It's like stay in the handrails at all times type of thing.
Just let me live. Anyway, I say this knowing that a lot of OG players didn't like the 2018 game, but from a storytelling perspective, I think it was really well done. And again, I know a bunch of people are going to disagree with me on this, but I think things really started majorly going off the rails with God of War Ragnarok. I really looked forward to this game and I was so disappointed, and then when I started looking into it, I realized why it was so bad. The developers admitted that they crammed 2 games into one. This was supposed to be a trilogy, not a two, I don't know if there's a word for this, but not a two game thing, which made the whole thing feel so rushed and so messy. They obliterated both Kratos and Freya's personalities to force a reunion that never would have taken place. I will die on this hill. They did the race swapping, which we all absolutely love.
I remember people talking about that.
Sense. This is terrific. Every single puzzle in the game has some character telling you how to solve it, which is just like...
Well, that's why game journalists love it.
Shut up! Just shut up! Just let me figure it out! Just shut up! Whoever was working on this game clearly felt that the franchise should continue moving in this direction, and now we're here. Although most people don't seem to agree, I do know that I'm not the only one who feels this way. Ragnarok basically erased everything that made Kratos Kratos and set up the future of the franchise, one that would head in a very sweet baby ink direction. horrible. But ultimately, and color me crazy here, I think that replacing the main character in any game is a bad idea. For me, it was bad enough having to play as Atreus.
One of the writers for God of War Laufey, the main writer, is basically, I think it's going to be a self-insert. It's too late to pivot, to be honest. They've already done the reveal and everything. They're not going to pivot this hard. We're going to see what's going to happen.
In Ragnarok.
Atreus, you are getting better. Faster.
I'd even be better than you one day, huh?
And now we have an entire game subbing in a character that we just don't really care all that much about. Also, the developers can high-five each other about centering women. Or whatever, which follows the unfortunate progressive pattern of replacing male lead characters with shallow female leads that nobody asked for. Instead of Jin Sakai, we got Atsu in the follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei, and having played Yotei, I can tell you that Atsu was not a good lead character. Not because she was a woman, but because her personality left so much to be desired. And that's truly putting it mildly.
No depth.
When I played this game, I thought, yes, it is beautiful, and yes, there's some really fun gameplay in this, but I kept complaining the whole time that Atsu was super unlikable and just super inconsistent, and I went into this, just by the way, completely prepared to like it. I didn't.
And then the actress was so adamant about like making it about herself. I find that so beyond cringe to me, in my personal opinion, when you are basically a mocap actor and you try to make the entire story about yourself.
Have any sort of preconceived ideas about hating it. The game
just let the writers write.
Like I said, it was still very beautiful, but god damn it, Atsu, makes sense as a person. Instead of Joel in The Last of Us 2, we got Abby, and then had to play as her for parts of the game after she murdered our protagonist. And
yeah, which was so out of pocket. I remember seeing the clip of it. Again, I didn't play the game, but I saw the Twitter clips. That death was so, like, just, I don't know, crazy and unemotional. Like, it wasn't a big deal.
Look, as a narrative choice,
even though people were super duper invested into him,
that is really
disrespectful.
And it is
one
that I don't
the
think
head and
sat
shit.
particularly well with a lot of gamers. People even now still hate her with the fire of 1,000 suns. Maybe that was the point. I don't know. Some people are even upset
Neil
that
Fartman
Geralt in The Witcher will be replaced with Ciri in the upcoming game.
I don't think this one is as bad, because if you actually play the fucking Witcher games, you play her quite a lot. It's not like, oh, it's out of nowhere.
Although this break,
I will see how it plays. I will be a little bit more lenient, but if it's bad, then I'll be critical of it.
Explore,
but for now, I don't
some
think this is
significant
outrageous.
issues with this decision, you know, at least Ciri is known to fans. You know, she's got playable sections in The Witcher 3.
Yeah,
and she is central
I
to
liked
books,
her.
So at least
she had a good personality. She was cute.
I am not super across this topic because The Witcher is actually a game.
Yeah, it depends on what
that I
they
have
make
never
out of
really
it, for
gotten
sure.
Around, so that is all I will say about that. When I say gotten around, I mean I haven't played through any of them. So judge me all you want. But
sorry,
as
I
many
didn't play
others have pointed
Ragnarok
out, this would be like
2018.
replacing Lara Croft in Tomb Raider with a Pedro Pascal lookalike. No, thank you. This is the stuff of nightmares.
No,
One of the problems with this
no.
new God of War backlash is that a lot of the smooth brains who are mad at us for being mad about this are just not capable of seeing the nuance in why we're so upset.
Some people were arguing. I remember reading on Twitter, and they were like, oh, well, if they made a DLC based around, like, Lara Croft, but it's a main male character, I wouldn't mind it so much. I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't mind it so much, but a lot of people would. They don't fucking want to play them.
Broadly speaking, and specifically
Lara
about this
Pascal.
game, beyond not wanting Kratos to be replaced,
You're invested
like
in one
said,
character.
Most people
Or
are
Bayonetta.
totally fine playing as a female protagonist, but not when that female protagonist shows up to check some.
It's
sort
called
of
Uncharted.
inclusivity
Yeah, go
box.
play that
and
game.
In my opinion, that's really what this feels like here. This wasn't made because it's integral to the story, or even because it's particularly interesting. It really feels like it is a spin-off game meant to pass the Bechdel test so that devs can get backpats from other ideologues in the industry and create even more excuses to fingerwag at the gaming community. For those who don't know, the Bechdel test is a way of evaluating women's representation in films and other forms of media.
Why do we need a criteria for how many women we have in a game or how much you have of a woman in a game? Why can't we just have stories that suit women or men? Why is it a big deal? I just don't understand this. This has been around for a while. I hate it. It sucks all the creativity out of people.
Which does have the feminists in the gaming.
Sorry, your studio has only produced one female character protagonist in the last 10 years. Your next game has to be one, otherwise we won't help you fund this.
Community actively
Cringe?
hoping Kratos
Hello?
doesn't make any kind of appearance in the new game. Why are you even here? Go play The Sims or something.
What?
I mean, yeah, who wants God of
Ew.
War with the actual God of War? What a stupid desire. Who's even asking for that? Of course, there's obviously no...
The same people that say, oh, I don't want war in my World of Warcraft. Oh, I just want to play Housing Simulator and, like, do my little dailies where I don't interact with anybody and there's no conflict or faction fighting. That's what they want, man. That's what these people want. They want to fucking co-opt my shit, man. I don't like guns in Halo. Yes, dude, there's an entire dude that was like a developer and he got publicly called out because on Twitter he said, I don't like guns in real life, so I don't really like the idea of having guns in my video game of Halo. And he's working on Halo. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, he was a weapon designer or like some sort of like art developer, whatever the fuck. I'm not making this shit up. You can go look it up yourself.
No real way for us to know definitively what guides the actions
It's so
of these Western gaming
counterintuitive.
studios, but we can assume, I think, and we can also do some pattern recognition. And it becomes even more obvious.
No, that's
what's going on
bad.
here
Using
when
your
we
brain is
compare
bad.
These games to those made by developers in Japan, Korea, and honestly even China. I played Wukong. I know what it's all about.
China bad.
There are lots of examples to choose from in the Western sense. You've got Mass Effect Andromeda, Horizon Forbidden
Andromeda was ass.
West, Ragnarok, Forspoken, there's so many of them. And beyond the gender swapping element, so many modern games take a specific franchise.
That wasn't even like bad because of like woke shit, if I remember correctly. It was just like bad because it was bad.
Around specific
And it was
lore, with a
buggy when it
specific
launched,
tone and
too.
Specific protagonists. They then replace or alter the lead, give us infinity cutscenes, slow the
It
combat.
had woke
for
shit though.
witchy
I never played it.
animation,
I just remember
add
seeing it was really
endless,
bad.
Unnecessary dialogue, inject quirky companions who won't shut the hell up.
That's the infection of really poor millennial writing and needing to have a secondary character to accompany the main character all the time to expose information and have like quips and quirks. You can't just like walk through a section alone. Yeah, the Paimon effect, essentially. The damn Paimoning, yeah, like I'm like, okay, fine. Like I get it having every once in a while, but holy shit, I'm so sick of like quirky Disney companion writing.
Give us actual dialogue that relates to bizarre...
They saw the fairy and like Link and they were like, hey, it's a fucking Legend of Zelda with Link. And they were like, yeah, you know what we should do? Make it fucking talk.
Progressive ideological talking points.
So, I'm non-binary.
And we're supposed to think that all of this is good and normal and fair. Who thinks that? They would like to talk to you. Japanese, Korean, Chinese devs like From Software, Capcom, or Team Ninja keep delivering focused, respectful evolutions or new IPs that respect what gamers like and actually want. I guess it's because they like money, I don't blame them. Elden Ring, Resident Evil, Stellar Blade, these games continue to crush because they prioritize the actual gaming experience and not the desire to self-insert or tick
I have my own gripe with Resident Evil because if you actually look at it side by side, it has kind of the same problem as God of War versus God of War 2018. The remake called a lot of the gameplay elements and kind of like dumbed it down for the general audience. For example, the yellow paint bullshit. There's a lot of other things. I don't hate the game. I actually enjoyed playing it, but there was just some instances I was like, it has a lot of like modernization and like I don't know, Leon's quips are like kind of cringe. Yeah, the dialogue, I don't know, it's hard to explain. There's a video out there, I think it was by Crobecat, and if you actually dissect it, it's not really true to the original. Crobecat made a video about that and got absolutely shit on. Yeah, I watched it, I think, and I am of the opinion that he is very critical, and I think that's actually a good thing to criticize how they modernize these games.
Boxes on a corporate checklist. This is crazy. A lot of these games have female protagonists and notable female characters.
Oh,
isn't that insane?
God.
The sweet baby ink effect is unfortunately written all over modern Western games, and on a long enough timeline, more and more titles are going to nuke themselves by listening to activists rather than gamers. The thing is, as far as God of
No, they don't listen to activists. The activists are in the game. They are working on the game. That's the problem. Because there are people who like actually work on video games and they have no agenda. They just want to make a cool game.
Goes broad of
in Asian games,
the rest of the gaming community
Eastern games.
doesn't care what sex the protagonist is. They care why the protagonist is. And if the why for this isn't story related, then it really does feel modern day politics related. The funny thing, at least to me, is that I would actually love to play as a female girl.
I don't think that it has got modern politics injection in it directly. I just think that it just looks bad. It's boring.
That's decked out with all sorts
you
of
just
cool
have boring
powers
characters.
Storyline,
yeah, push the button,
and all sorts of stuff. And I don't even care
wow.
what pantheon it comes from. Greek, Roman, Egyptian, I don't care. Just as long as she's very cool. But I would much prefer to do that with a new character or new characters and new story and a new series. I don't need...
Why didn't they use Atreus? Did Atreus die or some shit? Like, why didn't they just do that? Like a spin-off? No, he didn't. Okay, so then why not? Because you're so invested in that character. Why not do like a Kratos with him? Like, you know, he left after Dad of Boy 2. What is Dad of Boy? We don't like that kid either. But maybe they could like write him as a good character, and he's like not an annoying little shit anymore, and he's not a side companion. Maybe he becomes a badass. I don't think it would be that terrible.
Something that already exists.
Yeah, make him older, obviously, but like
messed up in order to achieve that. You know, and weirdly, what we're kind of discussing here is the exact same problem that Hollywood has. It takes existing IP, it takes existing franchises, series that have been around for quite a while, and it creates something new out of them, twists them up, messes with the lore, messes with the characters, upsets OG fans, and then goes, well, actually, all of you were at fault for being terrible racists. We will get endless sequels and prequels and addition to something that already exists, but they won't give us something new. And I get in the gaming world it's a little bit different, but it sort of still follows the same path with relation to all of this. I do think eventually there comes a point where something has been explored enough, and it's okay to move on. I don't necessarily think that's the case with God of War. I think that
no, because Lara Croft has been around for like 20 plus years. People still buy like the games when they come out. Like that, I don't think there's such a thing as like, oh, you're milking this character too hard. What?
There's maybe a game or two left that could be explored, and maybe some interesting
30 plus.
things that could
yeah,
come
I guess
out of that.
1990s.
There are
yeah.
other franchises where I think it's okay to put them down, and I think it's okay to stop trying to extract more out of them that doesn't actually exist. In the end, with relation to this new...
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. I don't know. I think... I don't know, because like if you really think about it, like new gamers get introduced constantly. Like the gamers have kids, or like they have, you know, like people grow up and they die. I know, unfortunate fact of reality. And then like they get replaced by new gamers. Like why not just have them enjoy the old character, but like in the new game?
God of War game, like I've said, none of this comes down to not wanting a female protagonist,
Godzilla games,
not wanting to play as female characters.
Nobody's complaining about like Godzilla coming out for like the 20th movie. That's a good example. Nobody fucking complains. They just come out.
Or hating women. That's not what's going on here at all. It's that even for someone like me,
it's been around since like the 50s or something,
characters,
right?
And will choose to play as female characters, having a game called God of War based around a character called Kratos, who's not in a new game that's part of a series called God of War based around a guy called Kratos, doesn't make a lot of sense. And it doesn't make somebody like me want to play that game, and I'm sure that a lot of you feel that way too. If the creators here wanted to pursue a game like this, I think they easily could have, but I think doing it under the God of War umbrella was honestly a massive, massive misstep. Now, on that note, and before—
Well, it wasn't a misstep, it was intentional, because if they didn't have the God of War label, I don't think people would pay attention as much. That's the whole point of branding.
This is Just Air. Reminder, check out Exeter using the link in the description. They have actually been a long-time supporter of this channel as well. But leading up to Father's Day, if you have a dado or a man in your life who is looking for a new wallet, they're actually such good quality. So I 100% recommend absolutely checking them out. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you on my side of this, where you're looking at this game and you're thinking, what are we doing? Why are we on this merry-go-round? Why are we getting a game like this out of a franchise like this? Are you on the other side, where you think this drama is so stupid and the game looks fine and you're gonna play it and you think it's gonna be good? Do you think that
there's people that are gonna think that, and that's okay.
Where we
I just think that
gaming
we have to
IP
criticize it more.
We expand it in a way that gamers don't really want. Do you think that that's a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is this going to eventually just—
I don't think people telling stories is a bad thing. I think it's bad when they co-opt existing franchises in order to fit their, you know, their narrative, so it makes them look and feel good that people are playing their game.
Destroy lots of video games and their franchises, and what you generally make of this issue overall. As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here, you're not subscribed already, and you'd like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as well as leaving this video a like and a comment, because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. Like I always say, my wonderful little chickadee people, I hope you stay safe and well and make good choices, and I will see
I try. I'm a VTuber. It's not really my thing.
In the next video.
In the next video. Go check her out. Oh, goodness gracious me, man. Was there a cube? Yeah. I don't get explained in the story, chat. Yeah, we really need a fucking talking cube, for the love of God. Yeah, I know, people criticized Atreus a lot. A lot. They thought he was annoying, he talked too much. Some people even said, like, I wish I could mute him. But then we just insert another companion that just never shuts up. It should have been a slime girl? I just don't like companion bullshit that don't shut up. I don't know. In my opinion, the new God of War is fine. The gameplay looks sick and the concept is awesome. If you don't like it, then don't play it. That's fine. It's just that game journalists are gonna take people not playing it, and if it doesn't do, like, mind-blowingly well, they're going to outcry and say, oh, well, it's the incels. They don't want to play a woman. Wow, we were so right. And it's like, what are we doing, man? Okay, fine. You don't want to play the fucking game. You enjoy the game. That's perfectly fine, but like to call everybody that doesn't fucking like it or doesn't like the direction it's heading a fucking incel is just cringe. It's not even an argument. Yeah, don't play it, it's fine. I'm not fucking shitting on people for playing it. It's like, yeah, sure, you will play it. The fucking Disneyfication, the cinematification of gameplay, of games.